Hi folks, I'm Doug Hensley, President of Hertz Real Estate Services, and I'm coming to you today with our August 2022 Farmland Market Update. It's hard to believe, but we're already approaching state fair time and the annual return to the rhythm of school for kids across the Midwest. Every summer it just seems to go faster for me, probably the same for you. We're also getting into the stage of the growing season where we often start to do yield checks and make plans and judgments about what may be coming to us in the next 45 to 60 days when harvest ramps up. We're officially through pollination season, as most of the corn crop was throwing tassels the second or third week of July. And if you looked up to the sky over the past 2 to 3 weeks out in the country, you've likely seen yellow spray planes buzzing the top of the crop as at least the first round of fungicide has been applied. A good number of farmers are doing all they can to protect this growing crop from late season disease pressure because this is a really valuable crop out in the field. While it's true that excess moisture is often the breeding ground for disease pressure, I think it's fair to say that across most of the Corn Belt that we would really welcome a nice soaking rain right now because we've not been excessively wet throughout most of the summer. We've had enough, it seems, and I think we're going to be positioned to have an average to average plus crop coming across much of the Midwest this fall. The late summer farmland market has continued to bring strong activity and sales volume. I think strong sale prices in any market often bring more sellers to the market, and that has certainly proven to be true in recent months. I think the market has shown an incredible level of resilience and really depth this summer, even as we've started to see some of the positive underlying factors that have been driving this market. They've been beginning to shift. Over the past 6 to 10 weeks, really, in my view, there are 3 primary factors that seem to have shifted in a meaningful way, and I want to share some of my thoughts about those with you. First, July was not a super friendly month in the grain markets. New corn prices backed up near $1.50 per bushel, and soybeans slipped approximately $2 per bushel versus where they were at respectively earlier in the summer. And it's not just a straight drop in grain prices that I'm talking about. It's been a wildly volatile market with some pretty big swings week to week. But understand, lower grain prices, if we settle back in this lower range in the longer term, that's not going to be quite as supportive to land values as what we've experienced earlier in the year. Secondly, and I've mentioned this factor before, and it has to do with the influence of the Federal Reserve raising short-term interest rates in their effort to slow down our economy to try and cool current inflation readings. That's beginning to trickle into the land market. And I don't want you to misunderstand me here. There's not a predominance of debt financing that's buying these farms. There's still a ton of dry powder on the sidelines. But there is a clear shift in the interest rate environment, and it's catching people's attention when they look at a new purchase and run the math on any level of financing that they may bring into a purchase. So keep that in mind. Finally, it's important to understand that farmers still buy approximately 7 out of every 10 farms that are sold. It may be slightly more or slightly less depending on the year, but farmer buyers play a heavy role in both the direction and the feel of the land market. So when input prices for the coming growing season have shown large increases like they are as we approach 2023, it may cause some people to tap the brakes when they consider a land purchase. It may not and probably won't stop someone from making a land purchase because we all know you buy the farm that you want when it's available, not necessarily when it's convenient. But the impact of higher input prices is very real and is being felt throughout the countryside because it factors into the math. So when you put all these things together, I think we're going into a time with this land market that we're seeing things level off. It's important for sellers to understand how their farm fits into the local market, and not every farm will perform well at public auction. And I think we may begin to see a transition back to a more varied market again this fall, when you'll begin to see a few more listings scattered in with public auctions of all kinds, whether in person, fully virtual public auctions, or hybrid, which is a combination of in-person and online bidding together. As always, we'll be positioned here at Hertz to help you sort through it all. So as you need us, reach out to us anytime toll free at 800-593-LAND. That's 800-593-5263, or feel free to visit us on the web at hertz.ag. We'll see you again soon.